Good morning, dear friends. I, Professor Harsha Gangavane, from GS College of Commerce, Wardha, from BCCA department. And as you know, I am going to teach you the subject name DBMS. Now, I am starting the unit number 3, SQL. Okay, so in SQL, in my last video lecture, I just covered the topic, what is meant by SQL, the advantages and characteristics of the SQL. Then how we can use this SQL language, that means the structured query language, in our database, and what should be done by using this particular language with the database. So what can SQL do? Yes. Basically, the SQL, it is nothing but a structured query language which is used to manipulate, control the databases and table, retrieve the data from the table and database, as well as the metadata from the database, like the information about the data we can retrieve by using the SQL language. Then how the SQL can used for retrieving that particular data, this is the further topic, that is the commands. Okay, so what we can do from the SQLs? So first, the SQL is used for execute the query. Whatever the query we have fired by using the commands, then it will be used for the execution. Okay, then retrieve means whatever the query we fired on the table or the database, those particular data retrieve from the database, it is nothing but the retrievation. Okay. Then next one, insert. So insert, it is a command which is used for inserting the data in the table as well as the database. Okay. The next one is update. So if I create a database of an employee in an organization, the somewhat operation I have to perform on that particular database if the employee is leaving the organization or joining the organization. So I have to update that particular record of that particular employee for the organization. That time this command is very much useful. So I can update the information which is stored in our table with the help of the database. So we can update those particular data by using update command. So SQL can do the updation also. Then next one, delete. If the employee of that particular organization is going to leave the organization, so left the organization, so we can delete the information of that employee from the organization database. So delete command is used for that. So we can delete the particular record or particular table from the database by using the SQL. The next one is create a new data. Obviously, if we perform the operation on the particular database table, so there is a requirement to create a new table or new database in that particular organization. So that creation will be done by using the SQL command. So we can create a new database or a new table by using create command. The next one, create stored procedure. That means we can create a new function or procedure which is we used in our programming or our retrievation of the table or database. So that particular predefined, or we can say as like a function, as like a procedure, we can create in the database or in the SQL by using SQL language. Okay. So after creation that procedure, we can use this when we required as per the need. Okay. Next one is create views. We can create the views. It is nothing but the presentation of our table data as per our need. Okay, we can merge two tables data with one view also. So we can create the view by using SQL. The last one is, it is used for set the permission on the table procedures as well as the view. When we create those views, procedure or table, we can set the permission. That means the authentication is done by the SQL. So we can do the set the permission Okay, those permission, it is nothing but authentication or authorized user can use those particular procedure table and views. So we can provide the security by using the password or by giving the password on the table. So this is nothing but this all operation, manipulation, creation we can do with the SQL command language. How we can do this? Means what a particular things provided by the SQL, so we can do all those things. Yes, dear friends, this is nothing but the commands. Okay, so SQL provide us the various types of command, so we can do all the operation on the table as well as our database. Okay, so how many types command provided by the SQL? It provides the DDL, DML, DQL, DCL and TCL. So those are the 5 types of command provided by the SQL. Okay, so what is the full form of that particular DDL? DDL nothing but the data definition language. Data definition language. As per the name indicate, we can define the data and its definition by using SQL command. Okay, so which commands are provided by the DDL? DDL provide us the create, alter, rename, drop and truncate. Those all the commands which is used on the database only. That's why it is called as data definition language. Means we can provide the definition of the data which is inserted or which is in a table or a database. So what is done by create command? So we can create a new database, procedure or view by using the create command. Then alter. So if we done or if we create the table, database or procedure by using create command, but after some time we want to store or we want to change something which is we created earlier. Okay, so we can use the alter command for changing or updating that particular database. So whatever we done with this particular command, those all commands are work on the data which is stored in a table. That means alternatively on the table. That's why it is called as data definition language, which is used to manipulate or create or update the definition of the table or definition of the database. So it is create command is used for creation, then alter command is used to change or alteration of a table name or table data or data type of the variable which is used, which is we create earlier. So next one is a rename. So what is meant by the rename? Rename, it is nothing but the changing the name of any table or database which is we created earlier. Okay, so we can rename our table, like we just create the table which name is student info. After some days we stored in that particular table like marks. So now I want to change the table name as a student info to a student marks. So I used that particular command rename, which is used to rename that particular table with student mark, which is before name is student info. Okay, then next one is a drop. It is used to delete the row. Okay, then truncate, it is used to delete a table permanently from the database. So those commands are used for defining the data which is stored in our database. Okay, the next one is data manipulation language. So data manipulation, it is nothing but the manipulation the data which is stored in the database or table. So how we can manipulate those data? By using some command, and those command are nothing but insert, delete, update, log and merge. So insert, update and delete, those are the operation which we can do on the table. So insert means inserting new data in the table. Delete means we are delete some part from the table, like delete a row, delete a row, or delete a employee name, number and information of the employee which is left the organization. All those things are done by the delete command. update, we can update the record which is stored in our database previously. So those are the main operation which we have to do regularly do with the SQL on the table. So insert, delete and update, that is nothing but the data manipulation commands which is provided by the DML, that means data manipulation language. Okay, then what is meant by lock? Lock means we just provide this command for locking our table, and the next one is a merge, means we are merging the two rows and all. So those are the manipulation command which is regularly regularly we can use for the manipulate our database or table. Okay, the next one, and it is very important one for the retrieval. This is nothing but the DQL. DQL means data query language, and it is very important. Why it is important? Because we use the SQL language for retrieval also. Okay, so how we can retrieve our data? By using the select command we can retrieve our data. How? It is used for retrieve our data as per the condition, or we can retrieve all the data from the table, like select star from table name. When we used that particular thing, then it will retrieve the all the data which is already stored in the table. Okay, in that particular command we used all the data types, operators, as well as we use the where clause, between clause, and all clauses which is provided by the SQL with the select command. That means we are retrieve our data as per the condition which is required for the report. Okay, by using the clauses and by using the operators in on the select command. Okay, it is very important for retrievation. As per the need, we retrieve our data by using select command. Okay, the next one, data control language. That means we are providing the control on the database. Okay, what type of the control? That means the authentication. That means the save permission. Okay, those particular authentication we provide by using the data control language, that is grant and revoke. Okay, means we are granting the permission for accessing the data and we are revoking the permission from for the accessing the data. So those are the commands which is used for the DCL, and DCL provide the controlling on the database. And next one is a TCL, that means transaction control language. What is meant by transaction? Transaction means we can set our data from one table to the another. That means we are transact our data from one table to the another. That time we have to delete or save that particular things. So basically rollback, commit and save point, those are the command which is used for the translation control language. So what is the meaning of rollback? Rollback, it is nothing but as simple as undo. That means whatever we done with the data manipulation language or like insert, delete and update, we can just use the rollback for undo, or whatever we insert, whatever we delete or whatever we update in that particular table, then we use the rollback, then the previous one will be set on the database by using the rollback. Then commit. Commit, it is nothing but the command which is used to save our database or save our report also. Okay. Then next one is a save point. Commit, save permanently, whereas a save point is a save that particular thing temporarily. Okay. So we can use the save point also for temporary save our database or our changes in our SQL with the SQL command in our database. Okay. So SQL, what can SQL do? So those are the operation which is performed by the SQL by using the commands, and whatever the types of the commands are DDL, DML, DQL, DCL and TCL, whereas DDL, data definition language, which is used for defining the databases, data manipulation language, which is used for manipulate the data, and next one, data query language, it is nothing but used for the retrieval, and DCL, which is used for controlling the database, and TCL, which is used for control the transaction. This is nothing but the what SQL can do and the types of command. It is okay for today. I hope so you understood all the things which is done by the SQL. Next part we will be seeing on our next lecture. Thank you very much.